Thought about this overnight and I realized I need to go ahead and mount this back up here. So this is one end. And this is the other. Now I did that because I need to know how much adjustability we need. It looks like about 2.5 inches. So with that out like that, our edge is 1 3/4, 2. Was I that far off? Yeah, they're a little off. Yeah, 1 3/4 will work. 3 inches to center. All right. So center to center, we're looking at 4 inches. So for 3, that'd be 7. So what is that? That is, set that there. It's arbitrary. Be a little tight. Yeah. We'll just make it so it's get a straight edge right here. This will work if it fit. It. Okay. That's not going to work. Center to center seems to be 7 3/4. 7 3/4. Seven 3/4. That is 8 7/8. And oh, that's bloody close. So we're gonna get our start here. So if I'm correct, ooh. Okay, just what's that? 3/4 and 7/8. It's at 6/8, 13/16. 13/16. Yep. We're within a 64th of an inch. I think that's good. Alright, so before I drill these out, I need to extend this 3 inches, 2.5 inches. I go there, I go here, I go there, I go here. It's going to be tight here and here. Alright, so if I go there, there. Now to pre-drill. So what I just did was I marked out one end, and then I need a slot for a bolt to slide in so the entire motor can shift side to side, but I don't want it to shift this way or this way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drill out all 8 of these holes that I've put in here, and then we're going to, with a pilot hole, and then we're going to use a step drill to drill them to the final size before we go back in here and mark of where we're going to cut to take out the center strip. I'm going to use a bimetal hole saw to do the final drill on it. We're going to drill it out to, well, I don't know what size bolt that is, but we can always go one up from there. Actually, let me see if I got another one like that. I'm going to end up using carriage bolts. Round, and they got these little square shank on them. So I'm going to drill it to the square shank size. I will be doing one more up from this. But we're just going to go ahead and get a start on it right now. And like I said, we're going to do a pilot hole first. And we're going to get rid of any loose fitting clothing before that, just because I don't like getting wrapped up in drills and power tools and whatnot. It's a good way to have a injury. That was a cheap step bit. It was angering me. Three sticking out the bottom. Alright, that's not the final holes, but that's roughed out to where I need them to be. Yeah, we are at 4, so 2 inches. Alright, I did that so I have 2 reference points so that I know where my center bolt is going to go over here. Now what I would like to do is use a jigsaw, just cut this out. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to use an angle grinder. Alright, at this point, I get out my little grinder. I got it hitched up to my Fortress air compressor, the ultra quiet, and we're going to go ahead and try to cut these strips out. I don't know if the Fortress will keep up with this. This is a Northern Tools or Northern Industries tool, so we'll see how she goes. Yeah, this is going to take forever. Not the right tool for the job. Yeah, CNC machine at this point would be nice, but since we don't have one. Yeah, a little overshot there, not bad. So before I get back into this, I was looking at my plate and how to mount this piece so that I can adjust the motor's tension. Well, this is the piece that was on there. So it mounts up below, the motor bolts go through there, and then you tighten it up. Well, if you look, I really don't like the way that all is done. And this bolt is, in my opinion, too big. So here, don't mind all that, that's another project. So here, I took a bolt, grade 8 bolt, it was threaded to right around where my fingers are, and I threaded it up a little further. I just used a die and just literally I did that until this was fully, well, not fully threaded, but I wanted more thread for more adjustability. Because as it stands right now, that should be about all the adjustment you can get out of it when you account for the size of the bolt and whatnot that's going to be in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my other vise because, well, those pieces are drying right now. Finally getting around to finishing up the floor in the living room. That's the transition pieces. But we're not going to use that vise for the next portion. We're going to come over here away from that stuff so that we're not spreading all kinds of metal filings all over the place. It's not going to work, but oh well. Just needs something to hold it. So we got that there. I've got my bolt. We're going to modify this a little bit further. But before we do that, I am planning on reusing this little piece of metal because, well, my holes are already set, and by going to a lower profile it'll make things go a little easier. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut this bolt off and smooth out this piece of plate. Is it going to go big enough? Aha! Well, that didn't work, did it? All right. All right. Now, along with that, I did get a new tool. Using my Christmas, I went ahead and picked up a Bauer trigger 4.5-inch angle grinder. The DeWalt one works fine. It's just I keep blowing through batteries, so I thought I'd try something different. Make sure I'm not cutting into the base metal. Scrap metal. Now I need to bring this down a hair. Well, in theory, this should be our completed platform. A lot of scabbing together, but hopefully she'll do good. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to hit all this with the flap wheel, make sure everything is completely smooth, and then we're going to rough up the engine. We're going to set the engine up there, get it roughly bolted down, put the belt on, and see if everything adjusts correctly. If it does, well, then we'll go from there. That'll probably be the end of the video because there's a bunch more stuff I want to do on this, but I don't think we're going to get to it at this time. In this video anyways. We will get to it at this time, just not in this video. So I'll be back in the morning. Alright, I lied. I'm going to clean it up tonight.